Hello everyone, it is Teresa from Teresa's Spot for Art, where I love sharing art from my heart and teaching you how to create a little joy in your life through some fun, simple, and quick art projects. We are going to turn this into this. How pretty are these? Simple little Christmas tree with some snow and some ornaments using a wine glass and enamel paints. So let me turn you guys around and we will get started. Important first step when painting on glass or hard plastic is to clean your glass with some regular rubbing alcohol from the grocery store or the drugstore, CVS, Rite Aid, Duane Reade, Walgreens, whatever you have, or Target, Walmart, whatever you have in your area. You want to get up all the dust and the grease from your fingers and whatever other debris might be on the glass. Okay, so now that I've done that, I don't know if I'm going to paint stems or bottoms, so I'm going to do the bottoms anyway. Okay, so there we go. Let me put this aside. I am using enamel paint. You can use multi-surface paint when you paint on glass. I like to use enamel paint, so if I have the colors, I will use enamel paint. I'm going to put this brush here. Is that going to work? Yep, that brush is going to keep that from rolling, and this brush is going to keep that from rolling. So again, when I paint on glass, if I have the colors, I'm going to use enamel paint. A second tip for painting on glass is when you're using enamel paint, to not use water. So this is called flow medium. Use it with enamel paint. It helps your brush and your paint and everything move a little quicker. So I'm going to dip my paintbrush in here a little bit before I go into my dark green paint. And then I'm going to, let's lay this one down here so you could see what we're painting. Does that work? Yeah, there we go. I'm going to pick up a little bit of this dark green. I think it's thicket. And then I'm just going to go over here and swipe my brush through this light green. I'm going to use my pinky. I know I cleaned my glass, but yes, sometimes we have to use our pinky. And I'm just going to pull down the stem for our tree trunk. And I'm going to come over here. And I want them fairly even, although I don't measure, I pretty much eyeball it. And I'm going to pull down the second one. Okay? And then I'm going to put that aside. Now I'm going to get out this rake brush. I'm also going to dip it in my flow medium. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to load it up a little bit. Let's show you guys. You can do this with a flat brush also. I have this brush, so I'm going to use it. And I'm just dipping it in. I'm getting a decent amount of paint onto the edges of my brush. And then I want to tap it off a little bit. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to start up here. I'm going to just with the corner. And I'm going to tap. And I want my brush strokes to go on an angle. And I want them to get wider as I work my way down. So I'm going to start short up top. So I'm just using the edge. And then as I move down, I will get wider out to the side. So now I'm just using more of the bristle. And I'm going to work my way down and out. I want my tree to get wider and a little bit longer. So each time when I go, I'm using more of the brush. I want the branches to be a little bit thicker, and I want my tree to get wider as we go down. And I'm just like doing a pouncing motion. I'm using all dark green to start with, and then I'll go back in with a little bit of the light green, and a little bit of white for the snow. And then we will add our ornaments. You can do the same thing with this flat brush by dipping it in the paint and just going back and forth on an angle, getting wider and thicker as you go down. Pick up some more paint. When using enamel paint, you want to cure the paint according to the directions on the bottle. It all has the curing instructions right back here about how you bake in the oven. So I will bake these for 30 minutes. They go in a cold oven. Turn the oven on. Then I preheat the oven. Well, not preheat, heat up the oven to 300 or 325. As soon as my oven is hot, I hit the timer for 30 minutes. This is how I cure it, but you want to follow the directions. Hit the timer for 30 minutes, and then when the timer goes off, shut the oven and walk away. You don't want to open a hot oven with glass in it. Okay, I usually do this at night, and then take my glasses out in the morning. So I'm just getting started on the other side. Now these are hand painted, so obviously no two are going to be exactly alike. However, we do want them similar, right? So it'll be silly if I have one like giant one and one little one. Again, I just eyeball it. If you wanted to use tape and put the tape down like in a triangle, this way you know exactly how big your tree is going to be. That would be a trick to do. But again, I'm just eyeballing it. And I'm just tapping away and getting a little bit wider and thicker as I go. I'll tell you guys something else. I hate to give away this secret, but I will tell you. Glass is very forgiving. Now, I'm not saying you should try painting this 5 times and wipe it off and try again. Sometimes you just have to call it done. But yes, if you were not happy with your artwork, you could totally just grab a rag right now or a paper towel and wipe it off and start over. But like I said, I don't like to tell you guys that because sometimes we are our own worst critics, and before you know it, you will never be done and you will continue wiping it, and sometimes you just have to go for it, leave it be, come back the next day and be like, oh, that looks pretty good. I think I have too much space in here, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to wipe out this one. Move this for a second because I need to fit 2 more branches in here for these to be even. So I'm going to take out this one very carefully. And then I'm going to add 2 into this space. So then I have 7 rows of branches on each of my wine glasses because this is a set that I'm making. So somebody would say, oh, no, you messed up. It's so embarrassing. No, it is not messed up so embarrassing. I am showing you guys exactly what we were just talking about how easy it is to fix something if you don't love it. Okay, let's put this one back down again so you guys can see. I need this because I need to fix my stem a little bit. I'm going to dip this in again. I'm going to go back to my paint. Tap it off. Okay, and then go back. I'm going to start this one up a little bit higher. so I can fit 2 branches in this space instead of 1. And there we go. Easy peasy fix. Easy peasy. No, oh, sorry, my head is in the way. No problem. Okay, now with the same brush, I am going to give it another little dip. I'm not even going to clean my brush, but I'm going to come over here to this lighter green. And I'm going to turn my brush over so I get the light green on both sides of my brush. And I'm going to go back with now the light green and just add some light green highlights on my branches. We don't want to cover up all the dark. We just want to add some light green here and there. Okay. And then again on this one. I keep getting my head in there because I'm trying to see. Maybe if I can pull them closer. I'm just going back and forth, tap, tap, tapping. A little bit of this light green. I think this is citrus green. Get a little bit more. And I'm going to add some snow, but I want my branches to dry a little bit. So I'm going to add the snow with a different brush. I have this little pouncer. I'm going to go into my white. I'm going to come down here. And I'm going to pounce in a little mound of snow going out to both ends. Just making it about as wide as my tree, a little higher in the top, and then down on the bottom. If you don't have a pouncer brush, you can use a regular brush, but you just use it in a pouncing motion, or you can use a sponge or a dauber. They will work too. Okay? Then I'm going to take this flat brush, because I only have one of those rake brushes. I want to dip it. I'm going to go back to my white paint. And now I'm going to use the corner of my brush, and I'm going to add a little bit of snow to the ends of my branches. I don't want to pick up too much green. I should have started on the other one that was already dry, but that's okay. And I'm just tapping in some snow. You can make it as thick or as thin as you want. Totally up to you. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. And I'm just using the corner of the brush. You want it to look a little thicker on the ends. Oh, picked up a little too much green there. So I'm just going to use the other corner now. If you wanted to, you could hit this with a hair dryer in between, or just be more patient than me and let it dry in between. It's totally up to you. I'm just tapping in the snow. Okay, then I'm going to put that one aside, And I'm going to now go to the back of my brush, and I'm going to dip it in the red paint, and I'm going to start adding some ornaments randomly to my trees. I have some pink out because I think I'm going to do a set with pink ornaments next. And you can put as many or as few ornaments that you want. Just try not to make a pattern. I know sometimes it's hard for us to be a little random, but just try not to be too precise with where you put your dots. I happened to drip a little paint there, so I added another ornament. Okay. And then I'm going to, do I have another liner brush? I should, yeah. I'm going to pick up some of my yellow. Oh, dip. Pick up some of my yellow here. And I'm going to just put a simple and easy star on top of both my trees. I might have to do a second coat of that. And fill it in a little bit. We'll go back to this one and fill it in a little bit. And then I want to take a little bit of white and just add a little highlight. And there you go. So, turn you guys back around. How easy was that? I got a little red dot on there. As soon as that dries, I'm going to scratch it off. And then I'm going to pounce some white back on it. And here is my set of wine glasses. Now, if you don't want to bake them in the oven, you can let them cure for 21 days. I suggest hand washing. Hand painted, hand wash. Thank you, everyone. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit the red button and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.